Greetings everybody, this is Marcus Toole and I am in my home orchard and it is April 9th. I believe it's a Thursday. With this whole quarantine business, I sometimes get my days of the week get mixed up, but I think it's a Thursday. We just had a very nice little rain this morning. You know, we had a very wet early spring, and then it's been really dry. We've gone almost a month without a significant amount of rain, maybe more than a month without a significant amount of rain. And I've even had to do some watering when I really can't afford to do so given this situation with COVID. But I kind of had to just to be sure and get blueberries and huckleberries. But anyway, I'm here next to my multi-variety plum tree. And if you take a close look, it doesn't have a huge crop of plums in it, but for a young tree, it's got enough. Some plum curculios got into a few of the plums, and maybe I can find one that shows evidence of curculio damage. I think I removed most of them that were showing signs of curculio damage. Well, if you see a little crescent-shaped scar on a plum, that's a curculio where it has laid an egg. Now, if the curculio dies because of a pesticide, as happened with this little plum here, let's see if I can get the camera to focus in on it. You see the little bit of the light brown on it? That's where a curculio had attacked it, and then I put a pesticide on it that killed the curculio and saved the plum, and it turns that light brown when that process actually works. You have to basically spray the thing the day it happens in order for it to work. These are my sunflowers. For those of you who watched an earlier video, you know that I plant sunflowers as a way of controlling leaf-footed bugs. When they bloom, the leaf-footed bugs will be attracted to the flowers. Usually they'll all congregate on one flower, and then you spray it with a really strong pesticide that's too strong to put on something that you're going to eat and too strong to be safe with bees. You spray the flower, the bugs fly away and die somewhere else. You then cut the flower and put it in a baggie and you throw it away so it doesn't kill any bees. And then you do that every day as flowers bloom until you get rid of all the bugs. This is one of the little plum trees. This is what we're calling a Phipps yellow. It's an improved Chickasaw plum. This one here, which I know is too close to it, is a tree search. I think it's a wild type that was, I mean, it looks like a wild type Chickasaw that was sold by Tree Search. Someone got one and then sent me one from theirs. I don't know what the plums are like other than that they're supposed to be yellow, but I very much doubt it's going to be anything other than a wild type plum. That's one of the reasons why I put it so close to the other one. I think the other one will overtop it because the wild type, all it has to do, it doesn't have to make good plums, it just needs to make flowers for pollination purposes. This is the little a flea market plum that I nipped the top in a little over a week ago, and look how it's sending out branches. That's exactly what I want it to do. The vegetable garden's looking good. I have a fair number of black-eyed peas coming up on each side of these blackberry bushes that I planted this year, and the blackberry bushes seem to be doing okay as well. And that's a very good thing. These blackberry bushes here that I got from Ison, looks like 3 out of the 6 have survived so far. The other 3, in fact, I've talked to the company and they'll probably send me some more. So we'll see what happens. The blackberry bushes, the thornless blackberry bushes, this is another thing I've talked to Ison about, is the blackberry bushes of the same variety have all different colored flowers, pink to white. They should be identical of the same variety because they're clones of each other. So somehow blackberries got mixed in that aren't the variety that they're supposed to be. And I've had a chat with them about that. Here's a very beautiful ebony spleenwort that's blooming, or some people call it a they call it spider, not a spider lily. Oh, I forget what the common, it's the other common name for it. It's a very pretty one though. They're kind of weedy. They come up all over the lawn, but sometimes I'll let one stay just as to add a little bit of color. These are the two Auburn University cherries that are side by side, and they seem to be doing pretty good. And of course, this fall I will select one to keep, and the other will be given away. This is the Dot Piazza. The Kiowa blackberries are almost through blooming. I don't think the fruit set's all that great. A lot of little fruitlets didn't get pollinized very well. That's my impression of it. The thornless blackberries, while they aren't as vigorous plants, seems like they got pollinated. The ones that have already far enough along where you can tell, they got pollinated better. The peppers are all doing good. The flower bed is doing okay. I need to weed some. Go into the side area of the yard. Huge crop of plums still on the Tools heirloom. I mean, just an enormous crop. Very pleased with that. Small crop on the Mariana tree, small crop on the Robusto tree. I imagine these Robusto plums are going to be just huge this year. It's not overloaded like it usually is. So I imagine they'll be big. The two pear trees that have the best crops are LeConte and Golden Boy, and both have pretty good crops on them. Tennessee has a small crop, but this is the LeConte tree, and as you can tell, there's a lot of pears on this tree. This one, in terms of, it's a smaller tree than Golden Boy, so in the end there'll be fewer pears, but it's got the densest crop, and then the Golden Boy has a good crop as well, and those pears will get real big, so it will be dense enough given the size of the pears. This persimmon tree, this is a Guillemboyo, is going to bloom really good this year. Hopefully, if we keep getting rain, it will bear some fruit. We'll see. I'm very hopeful with it. This little seedling plum tree is doing good. The Orient pear has a fair number of pears on it for a young tree. That's really in a spot that's probably a little too shady for it. So who knows what the flavor is going to be like on account of that shade. I think Orient has a reputation for being a very large pear, but kind of so-so on fruit quality. So we'll see. It's, you know, kind of considered a jack of all trades and a master of none in the pear world, in terms of you can use it for all kinds of different things, but it's not especially great for anything. But it's supposed to be, it's very disease resistant and very easy to grow in the deep south, which is its claim to fame. Here's the Tennessee pear. It's got a fair amount of fruit on it. Not an enormous crop, but enough that you know, I'll be able to make some canned pears out of it, or pickled pears is probably more like what it would be with that one. There's 3 or 4 pears, actually about 5 or 6 pears on this Southern King. This is its first year producing, so I'll just get a taste, just a little taste of what Southern King pears are like. The let's see here, this is one of the multi-variety pear trees. It's doing good. This one's been a slow grower and it's finally taking off. It's finally doing what I would want a pear tree to do, which is good. All right, well, this is, oh, you know, the huckleberries are going to start ripening in the next week or two. This rain came just in the nick of time for them, and we're supposed to get another one Sunday. If we get a good rain on Sunday, we'll get a really good crop of huckleberries. Anyway, that's it for now. Talk to you later. God bless.